Everyone keeps telling me that.
It's kind of interesting. It's like
it's lighter, but like it's red.
you can tell that the time is changing by the different light hitting our heads in the episodes. The time change, is like it's part of the atmospherics of the whole show.
Kind of need that.
I think we need to have a best day
A
to
what?
celebrate Alan.
A which
A
day?
vest. We
A
all
vest
wear
day?
a vest.
Oh yeah, I got a new. I had this vest. Just got this vest, but I had this other vest that I was really disappointed that my zipper broke. Then I realized, I had this vest for like 15 years, and the zipper had lasted that long. I should feel all right.
I've got a vest similar to that when I went to Africa.
Oh yeah.
To put all my junk in I needed more pockets.
Yeah. And the only problem with this vest is like a lot of times you forget where things are. It's like where is my, and it's like there's like 15 pockets in here, and you have to kind of like okay. So we're live.
Yep. Here we are.
Okay. Welcome. Hey, welcome Facebook fans who are still out there. This is Boulder on Facebook Live, filmed live in the world famous coffee cup in beautiful Boulder City, where we ask the big question, what is your big dream in Boulder City? With Travis Robinson.
And Angoya.
With our special guest today, Councilman Warren Harhay.
There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. But first, we're going to have our special social, God, now I forgot it.
Meaningful
Social interaction correspondent. Meaningful social interaction correspondent, Tara Bertoli.
Good morning, Boulder City.
Oh, dinner, breakfast.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Sure. I'd love some
All right. I have two things to talk about today. First is our lottery ticket that I got last week. Right here.
Thank you.
This is big news.
So, yes, this was what our ticket looked like.
All right.
So
Look
we
at
did
that.
receive one ticket, and we did win by.
We are winners.
We
were
won
winner.
something on our first lottery ticket.
So we're $2 towards our
I
$76
circled
million.
the number. We got one Powerball number correct. We won $4. We got a third of our money back.
Oh.
Cool.
Isn't
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
So it goes back into the pot for this week, and anyone in our live audience is welcome to put $2 in the
But-
whole room, and we're going to do it again.
But you have to be here live at the coffee cup, right?
Yes.
Right. Because we need your live money. We only take dollar bills, no bitcoins or anything yet. We haven't got to that point
Live
yet.
money.
Okay,
I'll
live
trade
money.
you.
Oh yeah. He's a warm-wing filmmaker. Travis is.
Oh.
Yeah.
This past week, I won 1 Bitcoin off of a video competition from John McAfee, the man who made the McAfee antivirus software, and I won the worldwide competition.
Amazing.
And I filmed him.
Yes, and Alan was my cameraman over here.
And Boulder City Police actually stopped us, but they were fine.
Yeah,
They were really nice about it.
it was a beautiful experience.
We looked like a homeless encampment, but we weren't. We told them we were filming a movie. They said, "Oh, okay, cool." It worked out. They
Good.
went
Did I
out.
ask you if you had a license to film a
No, they didn't go that far. We were busy, though. We were intent, and this, Oh, another special correspondent that just showed up, Dave Anderson.
Excellent.
In Boulder City, you can meet someone's grandma
In Tacoma.
and see the person the next morning.
Hopefully.
Okay, anyway.
But I wasn't done. You guys
Oh,
started
no,
talking
no,
about
yeah.
Bitcoin.
No. You finish your commercial here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. My second meaningful social interaction is my review of the wine walk that happened
that's
on
right.
Saturday here in Boulder City. The best damn
That's
wine
right.
walk.
Dave's wife and sister-in-law went to the wine walk, and I understand they stopped at every stop. 23 of them, right, Dave? Yeah. Sylvia, you're out there. Okay.
Sylvia, I hope you had a good time at the wine walk. I know 200 people did. We had a record turnout, similar to the one, or equal to the one during the best damn film festival. I
Oh,
was gonna
really?
say. During the film festival, we had equal attendance, so which is great because the film festival
Oh.
wasn't even here.
How many glasses of wine did you serve for 200 people at the wine walk? Do you think?
Well, I didn't serve any. I was at the check-in.
Oh, okay.
So I host the check-in
Oh, okay.
because I am the supervisor for Grace Christian Academy
Oh.
during that time, during the wine walk. So anyway, it was Crazy Hat Day for the wine walk, or I'm sorry, Western Cowboy Day. Everyone had hats on, cowboy hats. But it was a great time, and I saw the new store Daisies in the Desert, and I went into the new store Sin City Electric Bikes,
Oh, really?
and they were giving free electric bike rides, which was great.
Uh-huh.
And I also went into the Department of Water and Power. They were one of the stops for free line dancing lessons, and I had never done that before here. So those were 3 things this town should do, and that is my review.
Well, thank you, Tara. That was great.
The weekend.
You know, that's our significant social interaction for
Troy,
Monday
good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Anyway, so now we're ready for our big question.
It is what
Councilman
the city needs.
Warren Harhay, what is your big dream for Boulder City?
Well, I would see the big dream for Boulder City is to celebrate its heritage and its past and using that to build for the future. And with the idea that we keep the small town character of Boulder City. And so
Which small town character are you thinking about? Any one of us in particular, or
no individual.
no individual?
No
Just
individual.
characteristics of
Just
the city.
the characteristics of the city. One of the not strange things, but one of the wonderful things is, you know, a couple times my wife and I, coming home to Boulder City from another venue, and just the ambiance of the city itself, you think, what a wonderful place to live. What a wonderful place
Right.
to be.
What do you think makes it unique? I mean, what are the special, particular special things that make it unique?
Well, it's a whole panoply of things that
It is, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
you kind of love it.
There's no one special thing, but back in the 80s when we moved here, the thing that distinguished Boulder City from every other community, and we were going to move here, and my job was to find some place to live.
Ah, okay.
And the thing that distinguished Boulder City was the fact that it had a fierce sense of community.
It does.
That the people identify with the town.
Especially when you came in 1983.
82 is when we moved here.
It seems like everything was happening in 82 and 83. Obviously, you guys come, but the gardens were happening. The sculpture park was all the energy was happening, and it was tremendous. I mean, the Janus report happened where we restored and we established a historic district. There was a tremendous amount of energy in the 80s. So.
And I actually
Good to see you again. Good morning.
I think there's a revival of that now. I think there's some of the folks have been energized and awakened and see our history, our historic buildings, and they want to preserve them, and in some cases repurpose them for a higher and better use. I myself have some ideas in that regard, but yeah.
What are some of your ideas, Warren?
Well, one of the things that I felt very strongly about is Boulder City is becoming the energy generation, transmission, and distribution hub for the Southwest.
Right.
And of course that based upon the fact that Hoover Dam and our hydroelectric power and the supporting transmission infrastructure of the Western Area Power Administration, the El Dorado switch yards and so forth, that allowed for the creation of our solar fields, so solar generation.
We're basically plug and play to the grid.
Well, yeah, and then there's another thing coming is a group, Transwest, they're bringing their high voltage DC power line from Wyoming, where there's a gigantic wind power facility being built, and that power is going to come down here to be, again, distributed throughout the Southwest. Now, all of that's going on, and many people don't really know how the whole thing works. And what I saw is perhaps one of these historic buildings to be repurposed as an energy museum on the basis of like the Leeds Children's Museum, where it's a hands-on type of thing,
Right.
where you can see a cutaway of a hydro system and how it works. You can have actual solar power or a solar panel and a description of how does that work. An inverter, what is an inverter? What does it do? So all of these things basically as another tourist destination, and also a teaching and education destination. Now, I've already taken it to the next level, and I've talked to some of our solar friends down in the valley down there, and they seem to be interested in supporting it. And then I've also contacted UNLV, the energy solar energy group there, and they're interested in supporting it. And so we've got a solid base of science and commercial interest behind it. And I'm hoping that soon we'll have an energy museum here in Boulder City.
Well, it'd be great to like reach out. I mean, I know they do. UNLV does a solar decathlon every year, and so definitely they're interested in solar.
Yeah.
And,
Jonathan, what's going on, man? Good morning.
we are trying to interact with our audience. So, all audience, we love you. We know that there's potentially 2 billion people out there, and probably a few of you have quit your Facebook accounts. But anyway, we appreciate the 2 people that are here watching us because you're there. Thanks. No, I think what I would like to see. I would like to have a big gauge, like a simple analog gauge showing how much energy is at the dam at the point. Like I want a meter. Says this much power, and then how much energy is coming from all the solar down in El Dorado Valley. I think it'd be kind of cool to just to see it. Just to say what is the power that's coming through here. What is on the grid. We just want like the meter. Like the grid.
Right.
See some kind of metric unit on it.
Yeah, just kind of like
I'm sure they already have that at Western Area Power Administration down at the end of Buchanan.
Yeah, well, remember Barstow used to have the big thermometer, right?
Right.
Like you got, and that was like everybody's like, let's go look at the thermometer at Barstow. It's like the stupidest thing, but everybody looked, right? You couldn't help but going like, hey,
Everybody knows exactly
how
how
hot
hot
is
it
it in
is.
Barstow?
That's in Baker.
Oh, Baker. I mean, yeah,
Baker.
Baker. Wait, it was on the way to Barstow. That's what I think. On the way to Barstow, on Baker, you can figure out the temperature.
Right.
But it's like, wow, this is really simple technology I can relate to. Like, it's
Now that's a town that was perfectly named, especially
Right.
in the end of July. Baker.
right. No, yeah, I love to see all those things. We are, we're all about electricity. When I was a kid, I remember seeing Ready Kilowatt. Everybody, you remember
Ready Kilowatt.
Ready Kilowatt, And I remember the first time I was conscious of Hoover Dam was because Ready Kilowatt was hanging out in Hoover Dam. He's like zipped around in Ready Kilowatt, and I was like, oh, Boulder City, Hoover Dam, the home of Ready Kilowatt. That was
Actually not, because Ready Kilowatt is a wholly owned entity of the investor-owned utility companies.
Dang it! I knew I
And
should talk to our lawyer before I said that.
And it's kind of interesting why it's while he's fallen into disuse.
Yeah.
But for the power that's generated by BLM or our dam systems, they're not affiliated with Ready Kilowatt.
Right. It's the wrong brand.
It's
GE, isn't it?
It's the wrong brand.
Yeah, it's
right.
we're
So-
like Edison and LA Department of Water and Power. Right.
Yeah, I learned these things back in Cleveland when I had my electric car company.
You had an electric car company?
Yeah, we started an electric automobile manufacturing company in Cleveland in 1974.
You're not really Elon Musk, are you, in disguise?
No, he was. He's much more successful than I.
Oh yeah.
And however, we were selling hundreds and even 1,000 vehicles at
Really?
the time.
What was your car called? What was the name of the car?
Well, we had a number of them. We had one that's called the Change of Pace. We had one that
Whoa.
was
Yeah.
one that was called an Evcourt. That was the last one we made, which was we worked with Ford Motor. They provided us with the chassis, escorts without any engine or transmission, and we finished them off as electrics. And principally, they went to military and government, and it's interesting that we sold cars to General Motors and Ford for them to analyze.
Really?
But, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, if we look at that data.
But it was an interesting experience. The venture ended when the political winds
the
changed.
winds changed, right?
In
The solar panels came off the White House.
Well,
was that the year?
we were part of that, and
Okay.
the government.
I know. I was there. I was an environmental studies major
Yeah.
in '72, and then it went away.
It certainly did. It went away very quickly.
It went away.
But from the upside, what happened is it got me into Las Vegas and Southern Nevada and Boulder
you're
City.
here.
Yeah, I'm here
That's why
as a
you're-
result of that unfortunate incident.
Well, you know, and now you're a city councilman, and you know, you're one of the most thoughtful city because you do your homework and you listen to people, and also you're there no matter what. You're in the hospital on dialysis machine, and you're like in the you're in the city council meeting, and you're going, you know. Rodney's going, "Are you there, Warren?" And you go, "Hey, I'm not dead yet." You know, like you're here. You know, let's go.
Yeah,
what are we voting on now?
The advantage is, you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning, the rest of the council is sitting behind on the dais, but I was in bed.
Yeah, that's right. You're just. No,
Just a flesh wound.
that's
I felt like the Black Knight.
Here's a question I've been dying to ask. As citizens, and we're looking here at citizens in Boulder City sitting here next to you
Yeah.
as a councilman. What can we do to make your life easier as a city councilman? Because no one has ever asked you that question before. What can make your life easier as a city councilman?
You know what? I'm very surprised. I've over the period of my short existence as a councilman, I've tried to encourage citizen participation and to have citizens voice their opinions. They don't need to go to a council meeting to have their opinion heard. They can send email to me, and I've repeatedly provided that my email address, wch@eva.net, and I do respond to every email. And I also have a session on Saturday afternoons at the Starbucks where we have conversation with the councilman and coffee also, but the coffee is Dutch Street. The conversation is gratis.
Oh yeah.
But,
over here in our show, everybody pays for their own.
Yeah.
We're looking for a sponsor, by the way, out there in the TV audience.
But the one thing I saw is the fact that these contentious issues come up before council, and you hear nothing or little from anybody, and then the vote is taken, and then all of the voices start to be raised about how could you do such a terrible thing without even consulting us? Well, perhaps mainly because of the fact I've got my ear close to the ground, I'm listening and reading and watching and so forth. But the one thing I'm kind of surprised about is the fact that people have not gotten involved until after the fact. Now, as it turns out, one of the contentious issues that's before us is the possible sale of historic city property, and that has certainly and rightly aroused the public, and their actions might actually change some things, and I'm happy to see that. The thing that many people don't want to have, try to suppress conversation or controversy, but I welcome it. I like to hear the other side. I want to know what your opinion is, even though it may not be the same as mine. I may change my mind.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't be afraid of ideas. I mean,
Yeah,
ideas
I have
are
no
what
problem if being convinced of a better way to do things. So,
Well, I think this is a perfect time for our second question.
Art's on his way in, so you know.
Art's on his way in. Okay. Well, our special correspondent.
Through the window.
We've just been contacted by our special correspondent because we see him coming through the window here and making an
Country
entrance.
Music Award.
Country Music Award. Our special correspondent Art here with our news of the day. Hi, Art.
The country music news.
Yeah, well, Art reads the paper.
I'm old-fashioned.
Yeah, that's right here, Facebook Live. That is a newspaper. It's made on a newsprint.
Yes, actual paper.
Actual paper. Anyway, it's pretty cool stuff.
From the RJ Country Music Awards.
Yeah.
Here in town.
Here in town.
Christina Alden says, "Don't be afraid of ideas. The show adds to the small town feel of Boulder City."
Oh, Christina!
Exactly.
Hi, Christina. Christina is one of my best. She's from Christina Downtown Project, or what else? Hanging out downtown, and Christina is one of the people with ideas and energy and making things happening downtown. And she's actually one of the inspirations for why I have this show. Just to let you know, Christina. Shout out to you.
Well, I tell you what, if someone were to advertise for babysitting during the city council meeting, there might be a lot more people showing up. Because that's one of the reasons I don't go.
Well, we could do that, and it's been.
A lot of people could make some money during the city council meeting if they would just say, "Hey, I'll babysit." Who needs
Right. Well, I've heard many times that somebody should start a popcorn franchise there. Sell popcorn, especially when they go into those closed session meetings. I think that would help.
Not that the council wants a bunch of women
Popcorn.
in the audience, but they are citizens of Boulder City, so I mean, because women have a lot to say. But might have to hold them to the 3-minute timeline.
Are you kidding? Oh, no. We hang out with powerful women, and I know my place. Yeah. I'm attracted. I like powerful women. That's why Tara's here. Very powerful.
Don't doubt me.
No.
She knows.
There is no doubt.
All right. Well, for our second question, what is your superpower, Warren?
I guess to give that some thought, and I think that I actually perhaps have a superpower, and it's persistence. Persistence.
Are you like the Chinese water torture of like slowly, eventually, you drip, and then the ocean, the mountains disintegrate?
No, I don't think that's it. I think
Chinese water torture with the mountains.
kind of like Sisyphus successfully pushing the rock up the hill.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing that I kind of discovered this about myself some 20 years ago when I got involved in a group called Iron Butt Association. Iron Butt Association.
Iron butt. That
and
like it sounds like you said,
it
right?
is
Iron
what it's
butt.
Iron butt.
Like hard butt.
And what it was is it's a group of people who are motorcyclists who enjoy long distance motorcycle riding.
Right.
In fact, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they have every 2 years they have a rally called Iron Butt Rally, which is very selective in order to get into the rally, and but the rally typically takes 11 days, and over that period of time to complete the rally, you have to travel 11,000 miles on a motorcycle.
Whoa.
So I did that in 1997. I did 12,396 miles, made a complete circuit of the United States, and it took persistence to finish
and an iron butt.
Because I ran out of neck muscle actually. I couldn't even keep.
The butt lived, the neck went.
But
like those unintended consequences.
And I've written about this is the fact that many people, unless they've been in combat, don't know where their limits are, where their physical limits for endurance are. And doing these kinds of long distance rides, I determined that I had some spirit there to finish these things. And I honestly feel I had some health issues. I had a triple bypass 4 years ago, and pulling through that, I really thought that some of the things I learned or experienced on these long, arduous motorcycle rides helped me endure and pull through that whole process. So if it's one thing I think I do have, it's a dogged determination and persistence to reach a goal that I've set for myself.
I noticed at a city council meeting, you sit there, like with the patience so much patience and looking at it, and you're thinking like, my butt is fine. I can sit here and listen to this forever. So whatever, you can talk. I can sit.
Well, city council certainly requires a different level of persistence and patience than other
Well, it
endeavors.
definitely takes an iron butt. Though.
Actually, it's a very frustrating experience being on city council. The thing that is frustrating is the fact that the protocols and procedures are such that you can't get things done immediately. Like you want to push it through, you want to get it done, but you've got to go through this long process to involve the public and for public opinion and rightly so.
Right.
However, it is a frustrating thing for somebody who's very goal-oriented that wants to get things accomplished.
Oh, and the city staff does a great job of telling you what you're allowed to do and not do, which is great because
if they want to keep their job, they will.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, keep it moving. Man.
Yeah.
So do you call your commode, your toilet, the Iron Throne?
No. That's a little bit too scatological.
That's where you do your deep city council thinking.
We do. Well, yeah, I'm thinking that city council stuff at city council. Yeah, it's about the same thing level. Now
Well, I think one of your superpowers is your ability to listen to information, then re-articulate your position. I mean, it's I think it's kind of a unique. It's I think it's the best things about the best politicians are the ones that can have an opinion. I mean, you know what your opinion is. You will tell people your opinion, and then you will listen. And actually, your opinion will evolve based upon what you've heard and what you've listened to.
Well,
and being able to articulate your change of opinion is crucial because that is helping us all with the thought process.
Well, people have told me that they have appreciated the fact that on many of these contentious issues that face the city, I've taken the time to write out essays about why I have taken the position or are about to take the position, and they appreciate the fact that there's thought given to these decisions, where instead of just a vote, there's some rationale behind that vote or why that vote was taken. And people may not agree with me, but at least they can see that it wasn't a cavalier decision or arbitrary decision that was taken. It was taken with some thought.
Right. And you are not afraid of social media and Facebook in particular.
No, I have a fairly extensive Facebook page with lots of notes. I do one of the things that I really enjoy doing is writing, and so I've written back in the day when I was doing the motorcycling. I would write a ride report, a tour report of things that I saw and experienced along the route, and people have told me that those ride reports, they felt like they were on the back of the motorcycle with me.
Oh yeah.
And so that was very, very encouraging, and I've written some other pieces in there, essays about folks that I've met and issues that I've taken, and I really do enjoy it. It's a
well, what's interesting about long form writing on Facebook is you really don't know how long it's going to be because you're scrolling it.
Yeah.
And it's like a book, or you get the city agenda right. Here's my packet of 200 papers, and you go, oh my, you know what is ahead of you. But in Facebook, you're kind of like this is what I ate for dinner, or wow, that was cool, or whatever the little transitory. You have essays, so you're going, oh my God, look at this. This is like a dissertation. This is like, look at this. And you kind of scroll and scroll and scroll, and then there's comments and.
Until it's posted, you just don't know the magnitude of what you got.
Oh, no, it's amazing. I mean, I love the long form. And it's like certain times,
it tells the story more.
It tells the story, and once it hooks you in, you go, let's tell this, long form journalism. And then there's a conversation, and I think that's what's kind of interesting. This is
it's
what
two-way.
This show,
yeah.
It's a conversation, and we would encourage our audience here, if you have, comments or thoughts during the week. So This version will be, the live version will be on the air for this week, and you're welcome to comment and on anything, and it will be in a final edited version, which Travis will do, will be out the following Monday.
Don't be scared to interact.
Don't be scared to interact,
here.
even while
We're
this is
listening.
over.
We're
Say
here for
something.
you.
Yeah, review, like,
for us.
do
Also
something.
for you.
Just show us you're out there. Just some signs of life. That's all we
Give us a
want.
thumbs up.
We want thumbs
or a heart.
or a
comment
heart.
if you really
Or
want to
find
be
something cute
out there.
emoji. Use that Facebook talking emoji that you've been dying to use. Go ahead. Go for it. Go for it. Just go for it. Let's do it. You know.
The payback is the comments.
The payback is comment. We live for the comments here,
Right.
But we have Warren here, who's a listener and a digester, and he brings it back on you. He'll bring back the comments to you too. So, Warren, we really appreciate having you on the show today, and you come. And what we like to do is have you invite you back, again, and then find out, okay, what has happened since the last time? What part of your dream has happened? And I know with your perseverance, all these great things will happen for us in the city.
Thank you.
of Boulder.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
Okay. Thank Boulder. Hey, thanks for watching again, episode 11. Ta-da. Cheers.
Thank you.
Right, we're getting this thing down here. It's like half an hour. We just feel it.
Trying to keep it tight.
Well, we just feel it. We don't even
That was nice.